we go. Day 3 of Elevate Your Wealth Vibe. You know who I am. I am your hostess, Emerald Sinclair, and I am here to teach you what I have learned thus far about energy, about manifesting, about law of attraction, about raising your vibration. That is what this entire training is about. Before we begin, just really curious to know, how are things going for you? Yeah? Day 1, all about removing negative money energy. Day 2, attracting in positive money energy. And now day 3 is going to be all about manifesting. So my 5-step manifesting process that I teach in my money course so that you can learn how to manifest money on demand. So if you're excited for this, give me an emoji, give me a thumbs up. If you're catching the replay, of course, hashtag replay. I absolutely want to know, how is everyone doing with the training? All right, let me pull up my notes and have a sip of my grapefruit juice. All right, let's jump right into it. I'm ready. Let's do this. So what is my 5-step manifesting process? So there's 5 steps: clarity, confidence, communication, courage, commitment. Oh yeah, and I don't think I mentioned this before, but I have a really exciting something to mention at the very end of this video. So for those of you who are really digging this content, absolutely loving my vibe, and want to go further beyond just 3 days of this and want to go deeper into manifesting and money, definitely stick around until the end. Okay, so 5-step manifesting process. This is going to be a light covering, a light sprinkle, because there's a lot about it, and I actually, like I said, have an entire course. Oh, hi Tara. I think that's you. Oh, it is. Hi. Okay, I'm getting distracted. That's why I need to turn comments off. Okay, so 1, clarity. Be clear about what you want and why you want it. And so the challenge with manifesting and with manifesting money is a lot of people aren't specific. And so they say, I want more money, and then they manifest like a $5 bill on the street or $20 or whatever it is. And so when it comes to manifesting, and anything for that matter, you have to be clear in what you want. And so the universe can't give you what you want if you're not super clear about it. And I use an example in my book, Destination Soulmate, that if your great aunt asked you what you wanted for your birthday and you said, whatever, surprise me, you have no idea what you're going to get. Or if you said you wanted a purse, you have no idea what type of purse you're going to get. But if you tell her you love Kate Spade, for example, you've probably got a pretty good chance of getting a Kate Spade purse. All right? So you have to be clear, which is why I always write down the exact amount. And then I'll usually say this or something better, which is a little manifesting trick as well that helps you to let go of the how, which is another challenge that comes up for women when it comes to manifesting, is they think they have to do it all on their own. And so they try to control how it happens and when it happens and with who it happens with and where it happens. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to get clear on what you want and why you want it. And then you've got to remove those yucky feelings and belief systems that tell you why you're not worthy of it or why it's hard to do. And so that's why step 2 is confidence. You have to believe that you can actually have what you want. And if not, then what story is getting in your way? So for example, I would love to make more money. However, I can't get a raise, I can't get a promotion, someone else is going to get it, or things are hard right now with COVID. Or I would love to manifest money, Emerald, but I'm out of work right now. How could it happen? So that's where people shoot themselves in the foot, because that's called duality in the manifesting world. And so if you want it, but then your next breath or thought is telling yourself why it's so hard to get it or to have it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's not going to happen. So think about one thing you want right now that has to do with money. Is it a new client? Is it an amount of money in the savings account? Is it a house in Turkey? What is it that you want? So be super clear about it. Then, what's the next thought that comes up as to why you can't have it? That's your limiting beliefs that you have to move through. You can go back to day 1 and clear that negative money energy, those stories that come up. So a big part of this is being the conscious observer of what's going on in your head. And I know a lot of you ladies said that day one, your biggest aha was you didn't realize how many negative and limiting stories you had until you started writing it down. And that's the thing, and that's why I love doing courses and being a coach, because I get to help women see all of their shit that they didn't know was there. So you have to be aware of it. You have to dig into it. All right, so think about what it is you want. Write down a specific goal. And if you're live or catching the replay, of course, you can type it in. So that specific goal that you want, then what's the next thing that comes up as resistance? But it's hard. I've never made that amount of money in a month before. Who'd want to hire me? I can't hire, or I haven't ever signed that many clients in a month. I haven't worked in my job long enough to get a raise or a promotion. Jobs are hard right now, so I should just be grateful with the one that I have, right? Like, these are the stories that are getting in your way, that are keeping you stuck. So those are the stories that then I want you to go back to day one and do that process and work on clearing them. Step 3 is communication. So this is where you have to start telling a new story. You have to tell the universe what you want. You have to forgive the old story. You have to do those clearing exercises. You have to continue to talk about the new story, that expectation, that belief as if it's going to happen. Kylie, hello, beautiful. Good to see you. And so that's another thing. People get caught up. They tell the new story once, right? And they're like, oh, I'm doing this amazing live stream training, and they tell the story once. Maybe they tell it twice, but then a week goes by and life happens, and then other things happen that reinforce that old story, that old belief system. They fall off the wagon. Once again, the power of group coaching, the power of private coaching, the power of courses. You have that accountability. You have to keep telling this new story, the new story, the new story, the new story. And so that's why yesterday I shared with you, I have been on this journey of money, cleansing my money energy for about 5 years now. And before that, I was really working on love and conscious relationships for about 15 years. And so my goal is to help shorten the timeline for you and teach you the most powerful, potent stuff that I've learned that's worked for me. But it's not just something you do once, because you have how many decades of being who you are, thinking the way you think, believing the way you believe. Whatever stories your parents gave you. Society and what we've seen in the media, right? Like the stuff you're used to hearing, that's got decades piled up against you. So this 3-day training is a beginning point. It's a leaping off point, or maybe it's a continuation of the work that you have already started, that you've already begun. I did a Manifest $500 in 3 days challenge last year, and it was beautiful. I was just looking up all the different testimonials and results, and it was gorgeous seeing when the women were just focusing on manifesting $500, how many of them manifested 800, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 500, 500, 558, like what you focus on. And then when you have that confidence, that believability, and then you keep talking about it over and over and over again. So that's why that's step 3 in the process, communication. Step 4, I hope you're paying attention, because of these 5 steps, one of them is going to be your biggest block. 4 is courage. This is a challenge, because the people you hang out with are either going to lift you up or hold you down. And so do you have the courage to take action based on the new story you're telling, despite perhaps what your friends and family might think and say? And when I coach women into loving themselves and creating new lives, a lot of that usually results in massive change. And they do end up losing some friends because they've grown beyond them, because their belief systems have stretched. And so they've stretched beyond their old friends group. And so someone who's weaker, and I mean just weaker like mentally, is going to give up because they're not used to doing it in this new way and doing it on their own. But when you have the support of a coach or a group, or you're doing this over and over and over again, you've done the mindset work, and you keep taking action based on this new story, and you have the courage to show up as this new person who believes a new story and believes it so much she's taking action towards it, that's when things will manifest. But as you can imagine, could you see how hard this can be on your own? We talked about when you're planting those new seeds, they're just seedlings. Those old stories, those old belief systems are big old strong trees. So those are really strong. Let's just say this is the negative, my tree hand. These are the new seedlings, like, hey, we're trying to grow. But they're not very strong yet. So you have to put so much freaking energy over here so we can grow into a big tree. Does that make sense? So it is this ongoing process of redoing the steps over and over and over and over again and going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, which is why step 5 in the process is commitment. You don't give up until you receive what you want. You allow yourself to be led based on inspired action. You trust, you have faith, you know that everything is working out for you. And one of the things I see is people give up too soon. They have this timeline in their mind where it needs to manifest by this date and time, or else I'm a failure, or else manifesting doesn't work. So the universe has this thing called divine timing. Yeah, you might think you know what's best for you and when it's going to manifest, but you don't. You absolutely don't know. So that's why that commitment, that faith aspect is so important. You have to keep believing. And one of my favorite quotes from A Course in Miracles is, those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. However, you're not just waiting. You're taking action. You're taking inspired action. You're being led. So, which one do you think you struggle with the most? Clarity, confidence, communication, courage, or commitment? And you know, it might be a combination of all 5. For me, it was all of them at one point. It was absolutely all of them. Now, I would say my biggest struggles when it comes to manifesting is confidence. You know, still working on those limiting belief systems. Mindset's everything. For me, clarity is easy, communication's easy, courage is easy, commitment is easy, but it's like those old stories that keep coming up, which is why I have to keep doing the work over and over and over again. And it was interesting. I was talking to Kurt before this training, and I was having my own little self-doubts and limiting beliefs. And I'm like, but I'm not far enough along. I'm not a millionaire yet. And he's like, you don't have to be a millionaire in order to teach these tools that have worked for you. Like, why have you created in your mind that that's your limit? And I promise you, when I become a millionaire, then I'm probably going to have some limiting beliefs along the lines of, but I'm not a multi-millionaire. How could I possibly teach this? Right? So for me, it's definitely the confidence bit. And I would say a lot of us probably struggle with that as well. But I would be curious to know, between clarity, confidence, communication, courage, and commitment, which one do you feel like, or which ones do you feel like is your biggest challenge right now? So with that, that's the 5-part manifesting process that I go into deeper in my money manifesting course, Manifest Massive Money. It's a 5-module course, and we go into all of those in order to move through the blocks and help you become a money manifesting maven. Kylie, not yet, but soon. For what? What was that in reply to? Okay, so reminder, when it comes to manifesting, confidence, yeah, totally. When it comes to manifesting, here's what you have to remember. What you believe is possible, plus your feelings, so how you're feeling on a daily basis, plus the actions you take, either put you in alignment with your manifestation or unalignment with your manifestations. Oh, me being a millionaire. Exactly. Not yet. Boom. So, feelings, beliefs, and actions are what is either going to get you in alignment with your manifestation or not in alignment. Feelings. So if you're feeling high vibe, who you're hanging out with on a daily basis, the actions you are taking, like we talked about yesterday. Your belief system, so what's up here? Stuff you might have heard from childhood from your parents, things you see in the media and society, your friend group, what they're saying about money, about the economy, etc. And then actions. You have to take action for something to manifest in a physical reality. So when you think about that, so now we just did a 5-step manifestation process, which one of those do you struggle with? High vibrational feelings, your belief systems, or that you actually take action? Because I think in the spiritual community with manifestation, some people think that they can just visualize things into existence, but that's not how it happens. So I couldn't just visualize Turkey. I still had to book plane tickets and book accommodations. You see where I'm going here? So yeah, visualization was a part of it. Feeling the vibe of being in this luxurious place was part of it. Believing it would happen. Kurt and I never gave up faith that we were going to have an amazing summer abroad on the Med. But guess what? We still had to take action. We didn't expect someone else to just like book us a 3-month trip and say, here's your itinerary. Now we could have hired someone to do that, but you see what I mean? So which one of those do you struggle with? So when it comes to your feelings, we covered that. I gave you ideas of things you could focus on yesterday, like what are the things that raise your vibration, the people, the places, the experience. Your belief systems. So we did one exercise on day 1 to clear negative money energy. That's just one exercise. There's so many more, and it's not just something you do once. The third part is action. So let me give you an example. The other day, went into a jewelry shop with a couple of women that I met here. I was trying on tennis bracelets, just for fun. Trying on like a $20,000 bracelet. I wasn't planning on buying it, but I was acting as if. I was taking action. If I had the money, if I chose to spend it, it raised my vibration. So I am constantly doing things that put me in a high vibrational state or make me feel more luxurious. Now, it's not about the money. I want to remind you this. It's about the vibe. It's about the feeling. Why do we want anything in life? Because of how we think we're going to feel when we get it. And we talked about this yesterday. You don't want a boyfriend just for the sake of there's a guy sitting in the chair that you can call your boyfriend. You want a boyfriend because you think you're going to feel a certain way with him. You're going to feel adored and cherished and loved. You're going to travel the world with your partner and you're going to feel the feelings of what it's like to share your life with someone. Just like you don't want $1 million in the bank that you can't touch. That doesn't give you a feeling of security. If you had a stack of $100 bills right there that you couldn't spend, it would just be paperweight. It would be kindle for the fire. So you want things because of how you think you're going to feel. If I was here right now feeling like shit, it would completely change the experience. I wouldn't be able to enjoy the view. And I can tell you from experience, yesterday I really wasn't feeling well. And it lowered my vibration and I wasn't able to enjoy this view as much as I'm enjoying it today because it is about feelings, it is about vibration. And when it comes to manifesting, that's the secret. You have to put yourself in that feeling, that vibration, as if you're there before it happened. So what would it feel like to have the money? What would it feel like to sign a new client? What would it feel like to get a raise or get a promotion? Can you close your eyes right now and play pretend for 10 seconds? That's what I was doing to manifest this trip, but I also had to work on my belief systems. Now, for this trip, not necessarily. Well, that's not true. Like when COVID happened and they started closing down Europe and it was looking like, well, in the beginning, and people were like, you're crazy, you're going to Italy. I remember someone specifically was like, good luck. I was like, okay, jerk. And then other people tried to share things with me and I was like, no. If you have something negative to tell me about Italy and the borders, I don't want to hear it. So I became really good at saying, nah, this is my energetic boundary. Long story short, we didn't end up in Italy. However, I knew we were going abroad. I didn't want to consistently hear those messages of you can't get into Europe, you can't get into Europe, you can't get into Europe, because that would shift my belief system. So I was very, very strong about what I listened to and that information I took in. And I know without a doubt, that's why we're here in Turkey right now enjoying this gorgeous view. Because I was extremely strong in my mindset and belief system on this is happening. We still kept booking flights and booking Airbnbs, and when they didn't happen, we'd cancel, get a credit, and reschedule to Portugal, and then cancel, get a credit, and then finally rescheduled here. So we still kept moving forward and taking action. And that's how this trip manifested. There's not a doubt in my mind. We consciously manifested this. So, do I want to talk about that? Yeah. So it's kind of in alignment with the tennis bracelet example. It's a concept called incremental upgrades that I talk about in the money course. But ultimately, we hold ourselves back when we don't buy things for ourselves that we really desire or that would make us feel good because of this story we tell ourselves around it's too expensive, I don't deserve it, I shouldn't spend this money on myself. Whereas if you did spend the money on yourself, how much better would you feel? And I'm not just talking about like buying yourself a tennis bracelet, especially if it's not in alignment with your values. And right now that's not in alignment with my values of where $20,000 would be a good idea to spend. Like, no. But what I mean by that is, like, for the longest time, I wouldn't buy myself the nicest glass, like the nice glass of wine when I was out to dinner. And it was like a $5 difference. I really wanted the nice wine, right? Or I bought myself crappy sheets instead of nice sheets, and I sleep on my sheets every single day. So it's more just this idea of really thinking about, are you holding yourself back because of a story you're telling yourself around, I can't afford it, or it's foolish to buy this, or it's foolish to spend the money on myself, when actually it would help you feel a lot better. So it's not spending money for the sake of spending money, but if it raises your vibration. I remember the first month, I had a really good month in my coaching business. It was the same month I bought my first Kate Spade purse. So it was like the first time I had spent like $300 on a purse. And I just remember just feeling on top of the world. Now I had the money. I'd always wanted to buy one. And so that I remember specifically, I think that month was like a 10K month or an 8K month. I just remember like how high I felt walking out of the store. And it wasn't I put it on my credit card, oh shit, I can't afford this moment, because that would have lowered my vibration. It was oh my God, like I'm finally getting a Kate Spade. I'm so excited. I can't wait to wear this purse. And like I maintained that vibration for so long, and it led to an amazing month in my business and many, many, many more months after that. So it's not about just spending money on expensive things for the sake of spending money on expensive things, but what are things that are in alignment with your values? And for the longest time, I held myself back. So when I really started learning this stuff, I spent much more smartly. I was really being aware and conscious of my energy when I was spending. And that's another thing we dig into deeper in the money course is the vibration you're in when you spend. Because if you're in a vibration of lack and fear when you spend, you're attaching that vibration with spending money. Versus, or not even just spending money, with money. Versus if you're in a vibration of excitement, of abundance when you're spending money, then that's the vibration you're attaching to money. So once again, it's all feeling, it's all vibration. Are we picking up what I'm throwing down here? Okay. So your feelings are vibration, your thoughts are vibration, your belief systems are vibration, and you attract via law of attraction based on your vibration, because like attracts like. Let's see. Okay. Kylie, I've been working with Emerald since March about love, but she always says it's related to, I can't see the rest of that comment. Let me open it up on my computer. I'm sure it's going to be a great comment. Oh, I think I know where this comment is going. You just said you had your biggest week financially, right? Yeah, exactly. Because everything has to do with self-love and how you feel about yourself and what you believe is possible. So I'm glad you said that, Kylie, because that's how this all began. I knew in the beginning of my love coaching business that I would also eventually be coaching on manifesting money because it all has to do with self-worth. And if you love yourself and what you believe is possible. And Kylie also just moved into an amazing, beautiful, fabulous apartment that raised her vibration. But she had to believe that she deserved that apartment. She had to believe that she'd have the money to pay for it, etc., etc. This is all connected. So glad you said that, Kylie, because I remember saying that on day one of like, why am I teaching about money? I'm a love coach. That's why I'm teaching about money, because it's all related. Okay, so how can you allow money to support you? So anytime I kind of get caught in the money manifesting world, I reflect on the positive. So instead of focusing on the problem, instead of focusing on your fears, focus on how can I allow money to support me? Where would this money go? And that helps to increase your manifesting abilities, because when you're focusing on what you want and why you want it and where it would go, whether it's paying off debt or going into savings or paying for a new apartment, whatever it is, or hiring a coach, when you focus on that, now you're putting positive energy into it. So if you had an extra $1,000 a month, what could that do for you? Or an extra $5,000 or an extra $10,000, even an extra $500, whatever it is. I want you to focus on where it would go, what you would do with it, how money could support you. So take a minute and just journal into that. Because when you start to think about possibilities, that's when magic can happen. I never ever say I can't afford it. Because when you say that, you just like close the door. But when you ask yourself, how can I afford it? Or when you start focusing on why you want the thing, right? That's when you open the door of possibility and manifesting magic. So take a moment to think about, right, that clarity, what you want and why you want it. How can money support you? Where is it going to go? How are we doing? Do we have any questions so far? Hi, Manu. So I know a lot of people hold themselves back because of their fears, their insecurities, their limiting belief systems, which is why about 99% of my work within my courses and just private coaching is all internal work. Because it's not enough to know what you want and take action. If you don't believe you can have it, if you don't believe you're worthy, if you don't believe the clients exist or the guy exists, it's not going to show up. So, you have to get clear on what you want. Then dig into why do you want it? How can this money support you? Where would it go? What would you do with it? That's going to help produce a certain feeling, a certain vibration. Law of attraction is activated and like attracts like. So that would give you more of that similar feeling vibration, but you have to let go of the how, right? So once again, that's why we got the same vibration we were going for when it comes to Italy or Greece. View on the Med, luxurious, food, wine, ruins, exploration. We got the exact same feeling, but it's actually even better because it's cheaper in Turkey than Italy. So our money goes so much further. We didn't consciously know this at the time. Turkey wasn't even on our radar. See where I'm going here? Then you have to take action because this proves you're serious, and we live in a physical action world. We had to buy the plane tickets to get here. And then you have to commit to the outcome. You can't just say you want the money and do nothing about it. You have to work on your belief systems. You have to take action. If you want to manifest new clients, what can you do? Is it writing a newsletter? Is it doing a Facebook Live? If you want the promotion, well, maybe you need to show up more at work. or ask for the promotion. Aw, hi Keisha, love you too. Good to see you, babe. So the biggest part in this entire process is the letting go of attachment and the how, or when, or where in my example, right? Turkey. It's just stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. It's better than I could have imagined. And this entire process is something that takes time to cultivate. Like anything in life, it takes time to really become an amazing, conscious manifester. It's not an accident, but it's something you can learn, and it's not necessarily something that we were all taught. But I want to teach it to you. I want to go deeper. So for those of you ladies that love this, and you want to go deeper, and you're ready to take action, you're ready to shift your money story, you're ready to continue to elevate your wealth vibe, you're ready to take all these spiritual concepts and just jump into them, then I want to share with you about my money course. It's called Manifest Massive Money. It's an abundance course designed to show you how to attract in the money you desire. So taking everything today and going so much further. So getting super duper clear on what you want, moving through those belief systems that are in your way to attracting it, action steps to have confidence, to act as if money manifesting games, and that accountability and support for 5 weeks so that you don't fall back into your old habits, your old ways, your old belief systems. So it's a 5-week course. It's a module a week. The doors are open until Sunday the 16th, and then the first module is released on Monday the 17th. So I'm going to share with you a little bit more about the course and what's included. If you have any questions at all on money, on manifesting, on the course, type them in as we go. So here's the thing. Module 1 is shifting your money story and learning the truth about manifesting money. Because right now you have a story in your head around manifesting money. And I'm here to tell you that it's not true. It's a story. It's neither right nor wrong, but it's your story. And if you choose to believe it, it's a story that you will continue to perpetuate. And so Module 1 is about shifting your money story and learning what the truth is about money. And it's not what you were raised to believe. It's not what I was raised to believe. I heard things like, we can't afford it, money doesn't grow on trees. I had my brother's hand-me-downs. I was given a story, and for a very long time into adulthood, I bought into that story. I believed the story. I thought money was hard to come by. I thought I didn't deserve to have new things, that I had to shop at thrift stores. Like, these stories went deep into my subconscious mind, and I relived them out until I realized that they were a story and I could change them and I could reprogram my mind. And now I get to experience vacations like this. I get to live or to run a very financially lucrative business that supports me to travel around the world. I had to tell myself a new story around money. Module 2, what's getting in your way to abundance and how to clear it. So we're going to go deeper into removing negative money energy, clearing old money patterns, habits, memories, etc. That's a big one. Module 3 is all about that clarity, so deeper into the clarity, that first step in manifestation, and then to allow yourself to energetically make space to receive it. Module 4 is inspired action. So I told you that it's feelings, beliefs, and action. That's the manifesting formula. So you have to take action, but you don't take action just for the sake of taking action. It's inspired action. It's aligned action. It's inspiration from your higher self, from source. And that's the challenge. People think, oh, well, if that works for her, it'll work for me. That's not true. You have your own unique path, which means learning to listen to yourself and your own guidance system and taking inspired action is what's going to work for you. And that was the biggest shift for me. The first 2 years of my business, I was following what everyone else was doing, thinking like there had to be just one formula of success. And it wasn't until I started following my own guidance. And I remember specifically in 2018, I had my biggest month in business, the same month My business coach said, don't launch that product this month. It's a bad month to do it. I followed my guidance and I launched it, and I had my biggest month that year. The year before, I would probably have listened to my business coach and not launched the course and not made the money. So it is about taking that inspired action and listening to yourself. Now, module 5, now we're going to get deeper into raising your vibration, making money your best friend for life. Here's the thing. Money is energy, like anything in the world. And so having a relationship with money, think about it as having a relationship with a best friend. How do you talk to your best friend? How do you treat your best friend? Do you buy your best friend gifts? Do you compliment your best friend? Do you let your best friend compliment you? Do you talk to your best friend? Are you scared that when your best friend leaves, she's never going to come back? So these are some mental reprogramming tools that you have to do in order to start treating money like your best friend so that it will consistently show up for you and start acting like your best friend instead of someone that you're scared of, instead of someone that you're pushing away, instead of someone you don't feel like you deserve to be around. You see where I'm going here? I know some of you, when we were talking about worth and receiving yesterday around gifts, around dinner, around promotions or raises, that energetically is repelling money from you because you're not treating money like a friend. You're pushing it away. So that's what the money course is all about. It's about playing a bigger game. It's about shifting your identity to be a wealthy woman, to be the woman who has everything that she wants, to move through those blocks, to attract it in, and then to replicate the system over and over and over again. And then you could even use the manifestation process for anything that you desire because it's replicable. It's manifesting, period. So the course it's live. We start live on Monday, the 17th. The doors close on Sunday, the 16th. So module 1's released on Monday. However, there's quick start bonuses, including manifest $500 in 3 days. I want you to get started immediately at manifesting money. Now there's other bonuses like the money gratitude journal, the abundance tracker, my rituals for abundance, this elevate your wealth vibe training is going to be in it, and then we'll have a private Facebook group where you'll get coached by me and be with all these other amazing women, high vibe women the whole time that you're through the journey. So the price, I'm sure you're curious to know, Money Manifesting Maven. So the price, pay in full, is $555. And the first 3 women to sign up and pay in full get a bonus 30-minute money manifesting call with me, yours truly, to use at any time throughout the process of the 5 weeks when we're together in the course. If you want to do the payment plan, it's 3 payments of $197 spread out over 3 months. So payment 1 today, then in a month, payment 2, then in a month, payment 3. Now, one thing I do want to say is right now I'm also accepting clients into my private coaching practice. And if you sign up, if we decide it's a fit, so you have to apply to work with me. If we decide it's a fit, you'll get access to the money course for free. So that's also my bonus for you. So the website I will drop in when we're done. It's pretty simple. It's emeraldsinclair.com/manifestmoney2020. And I really want you to think about the possibility, right? So for those of you that are maybe not ready right now, I know some of you are totally ready to sign up. So it's emeraldsinclair.com/manifestmoney2020. But for those of you that are maybe a little bit more fearful or apprehensive, that's the belief system bit. And I want you to think about how long are you going to continue to let your fears run your life? Well, I'm scared it won't work, so I'm not going to take action. Then it will never manifest in your life. That's a paradox of manifesting. You have to act as if, you have to believe it's possible for you and then take action in alignment with that, which is everything we've been talking about for the last 3 days. So I'm curious to know, how can I support you? Do you have any questions about money, about manifesting, about the money course? If you're watching the replay, type them in and tag me so I see them. All of these replays for the Elevate Your Wealth Vibe training will be up in the Facebook group or on YouTube only until Sunday at midnight Colorado time, so Mountain Standard Time. Then they go away forever and they become a bonus for the money course. Then the money course begins on Monday, 5 weeks, live, an amazing high vibe community. If you've already done the money course and you're an alumni, reach out to me if you want to go through it again as an alumni and you want to go through it live. Reach out to me and we can talk about that. And I want to finish this live stream with a reminder that you're meant to have your desires. But the only thing in your way is the story you're telling yourself around why it's not possible. And a big part of that has to do with your self-love, right? So if you believe something's possible, if you feel worthy of the thing, which is why this is a big part of what we dig into in the money course. So if you want to move beyond those fears, those limiting beliefs, self-love issues, self-worth issues, if you want to quantum leap and make some big financial jumps in your life and your business, I'm thinking about the leaps in my business, it was like 2K to 3K to 5 to 6 to 8 to 12 to 14, and I think like back to 12 and then 29, like it's just, things can shift fast. They really can when you do the work. And for the women that are ready, for the women that want this massive shift, that want this change, want to elevate their wealth vibe, I want to teach you everything I know about manifesting money. So I will drop the link in emeraldsinclair.com/manifestmoney2020. If you have any questions at all, just DM me or comment them below, and I will see you in the money course.